You want to go?
Okay.
I'll tell. So we met in high school, and my version of the story is that
That's it right there.
Amel was really good friends with one of my good friends who wanted to, a male, who wanted to date my best friend. And so I won't name him, but his friend asked my friend out, and so he decided he might as well. Why not? He didn't have anything else to do. So he asked me to go out. Isn't that what happened?
No. No. Most of that is true. The part that's different is that I didn't say I might as well. I thought she was cute. I was attracted to her as well. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to try to talk to her at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So y'all will both be winning, right?
Exactly.
Like you and your friend.
Exactly. Exactly. And we have one car, so we can share a car and we double date.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
so you being resourceful and
Yes,
very
ma'am.
smart.
Yeah. I knew Tanya was my soulmate because we shared a lot of similarities, and we come from two different parts of the world. So Tanya's from North Carolina, I'm from New York. She's a country girl, I'm a city boy. So there's a big difference there, but at the same time, we're kindred spirits. You know, we like a lot of the same things. And even back then, she made me a lot better, you know, because I was fresh down here in Virginia from New York. Still had the whole New York attitude, didn't know how to smile. It just any stereotype of a New Yorker, I was it.
Right. Which is a lot different than what I think all of us got from you today.
Right. And well, because I'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Pretty much.
There's nothing to be walking around grumpy about. You know, when I'm the one who's walking around, hey, how y'all doing? Hey.
Right.
We would go to, this is a funny story. We used to go, so I've been going up to New York since we were 15, 16 years old to visit his family. And I'm from the South. We speak to everybody. So we're walking around, we go in the neighborhood and good morning. Hello. I'm at the grocery store. Good morning. Everybody looks like somebody just shot the cat. Everybody's just mad and grumpy. And I'm just upset. I'm like, nobody speaks. And he was like, just stop talking to people. Stop talking to people. You don't do that up here.
Right, that means something different when you're speaking to people that you don't know. They take that as not simply hello. They take it as
like you want something from
them. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, would you please stop?
So, you know?
So, you know.
We both had to learn.
Right. But what I liked about Tanya was that she made me better, not because she didn't force it. You know, she would always just talk to me about me being better and what I wanted to do and kind of digging down and reaching my potential. And there were, you know, at that time I was going on a lot, doing a lot of different things. And rather than telling me to stop going out and stop being with this person, stop doing these things, she would simply be like, okay, well, be careful and ring my phone when you get home. So now ring your phone when you get home is different, right? We didn't have cell phones back then.
No, there's no cell phones.
And
back in 1992.
I couldn't call her parents' house at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Right. So what I would do is just ring the phone and hang up, and she would know that was me coming in the house. Mm-hmm. You know, so, you know, growing up, I'm thinking, man, this is really cool because this lady accepts me for who I am, but at the same time, she's showing me that I can be better, you know. And then she's an athlete, I was an athlete, so we had that in common. We laughed, we joked, we just enjoyed each other. So at that point, I'm thinking, you know, I want to definitely make her my lady, you know. I wanted to be married because my parents are still married to this day, so I saw that. I knew what that was about. And I'm like, my father would always talk to me like, hey, man, you got a really good lady there, you know. So all of those things, I said, you know what? Why wait? You know, back in the day, the way we was taught was when you find one, as a kid said, there you cuff them, right? So,
oh my gosh!
And I wasn't afraid of doing that. You know what I mean? I'll put 2 cuffs on her. You know what I mean? So, I locked it down. You know what I mean? So, you know that's pretty much how it happened. That's how come I knew I wanted to marry.
I love all the Black love that's going on now. It is a true revolution in a sense, but I feel, you know, like I said, it's been 28 years when we were in high school. Like, me and Amel have been on it like that from back then. and it was much different because there wasn't this whole movement. I feel like a lot of the younger, I guess the millennials, the push has been so much stronger. So when we were younger and being more pro-black, it was the pocket was very small. You know, when if I cut my hair and went natural right before, well, a year or two before we got married, that was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? You know, you look like a boy, like all this, there was just so much going on. Whereas now you just look at people, it's normal. You see a lady with a short natural, it's whatever. But we had to deal with, us being in our minds about blackness and being very pro-black at a young age where, really it was only in your household where you would get the support, because everybody wasn't like that. The kids in high school weren't like that. You know what I mean? Back then they weren't, so it was much different for us. But it's been there ever since.
If you remember, you think about it, we jumped the broom in '96.
Right. So, right. We were in, he had on a whole African garb. I had on Afrocentric dress. Yeah, he had locks. I had so Egyptian coils in my hair. We just had... Right.
All of her dress had Adinkra symbols on them, so all the different.
The women all wore traditional African dresses.
So you say, how has blackness been a part of our relationship? This is who we are.
Yeah.
And the fact that we kind of studied some things early on, we knew that going back home across the waters, this is what we always had. We always had kings and queens, and they have a family. So we always wanted to make sure that we represented that. You know what I mean? So this is, being black is a huge part of who we are in our marriage, and it will continue to be.
Yeah, it was very hard back then to be natural, to find some place.
As a matter of fact, Tanya, she started growing her locks when we got married, and this her hair is from when we got married.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, this is not for play.
So most people see it, they think it's fake. They'll ask me, they think it's add-ins or whatever. This is 20-something years.
20 years.
Your hair is the same age as your marriage.
It's the same age.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So proposal. So we got. I proposed when we were right out of high school. So and I prefaced that because I had no money, so there wasn't a whole lot of big rings and nothing to that effect. So we were in line at Chesapeake. What was the name of the restaurant?
Chesapeake Bay Restaurant. For all you old head people in the DMV, y'all know.
Yeah.
Chesapeake Bay was a restaurant, a seafood restaurant.
All you can eat.
It was delicious. It was wonderful. So we were going there thinking we were doing something.
Right. So again, we had no money. We were right out of high school. I think it was like our first year of college. So we were in line because it was a line to get in, and I had written a letter. And in the letter, I talked about, I professed my love to her and how I want to spend the rest of my life with her. And I gave her that letter. Figured we were in line, and I'm always trying to embarrass her, right? So I'm always trying to make her laugh and be silly like I am. So I figured, what better time than while we stand in line? So I gave her the letter, and I said, just read this. Tell me what you think about it. So she read it, and at the end of the letter, it said, if you would, do me the honor and be my wife, I really would, love that. So put your hand out when you finish reading the letter. And she read the letter, and she put her hand out, and I put the ring on.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tanya, you want to talk about the wedding? Can you tell us about that day?
So, you already know that we got engaged when we were 18. So we're pretty much very forward thinking, like we're going to do this, right? So, but we go to college. We go to college separately. So this is in between. We don't get married right away. Most people get engaged they're married within a year. Well, not everybody, but so we get engaged, we go to college. We graduate from college and then we get married. So there's 4 years that elapse between our engagement. And we get, we have our wedding. I plan it out a year ahead. So the year before we graduate, I'm planning the entire thing. So it's supposed to be set. We're done. I picked everything out. He's like, yes, dear. He's already in the yes, dear, whatever you want. My dad was like, look, those are the 2 words you need to know. That's all you got to say. And so we did it. We get to the wedding day, and
can I say something?
What?
No, how much you do you think?
Go ahead.
What?
It's my time.
No, but I had this. So we did have a little bit of an issue during the wedding planning piece.
What?
So it came to the invitations. Right?
Oh, jeez.
See, she didn't want to tell you that, and I'm going to be 100 with y'all. So,
because you're supposed to mail invitations.
Why you telling?
And all of a sudden he's gonna be like, "Oh, why can't I just hand them out to my boys?" Because that's tacky. You have no couth.
So you wanted to just hand deliver the invitations to your boys because you're gonna see them anyway.
We play basketball all
Right.
the time.
No,
Every
sir.
Wednesday.
Because you have to count how many invitations, and so you have to pay for how many invitations. Why I gotta mail
I play ball
those?
with my man every week. Why am I gonna send it to him? I can take it out of my gym bag, make sure it's in the proper part where it's creased, and hand it to them.
No, sir.
Real New Yorkers.
I mean, but I was trying
Just
to say something.
basic. Just so basic.
She wanted a certain type of dress. I'm trying to figure out how we can save for the dress. So I'm thinking I can hand the invitations out to my man because I see him every week.
Yeah,
Right.
look.
He could even fill it out right then and give it back.
90,
he got it back.
Wait a minute. Invitations. Wait, they didn't send us back their RSVP. They need to send them stamps back.
And this so I'm sorry, that's all I wanted to say because
it was something else. No, he was just being real. And we were broke. I mean, you talking about 24 years? What were we, 22?
Yeah, we
didn't have any money.
None.
We got the dress. We didn't even we had picked out rings, custom rings that were going to be made in New York. Of course. Yeah. So we get we can't even afford to get those out for the wedding. We did not like it. I ended up getting it later. I don't even know how long it was after. But anyways, we didn't get it until later. So it was just being broke was something else back then. There was no save the dates. This is 96.
Right.
Save the date was none of that was happening. So we get it together. We get the wedding that I really wanted. We got married in Alexandria in Old Town there's a cherry blossom. There's a paddle boat there, so we got married there. So when you come to the wedding day, we have African drummers on the pier. People are walking down the pier. So there's all these people looking like who aren't in the wedding. There's just people out because it's August. There's people out, African drummers. People are signing our broom that we're gonna jump over. And it's just like this. And so I'm downstairs waiting. I got all my girls down there, the flower girls down there. And the only thing we realize is that we're missing our plant. We're supposed to do a libation ceremony where, not like where you pour the liquor to people aren't here, but you drop, not to the dead homies. So you just do you do water into a plant for your ancestors, right?
In the homies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in the homies. So we forget the plant. So the wedding coordinator for the boat is like, I'll figure it out. I said, okay. She goes to a restaurant and comes back with this huge bush. We have droppers. We're supposed to be dropping it into a small plant. We have this huge bush. Okay. So it was that was one little hick that we got. Then I was down in the galley and it was taking a long time. And I'm like, we're supposed to be late. The bride is supposed to be late. I was not late. I was there. The wedding was being held up because someone hadn't arrived yet. I'm down there and I'm telling my sister, find out who it is. I don't care. Let's get this show on the road. And then they finally get it together and we finally get it. I see someone running down the pier to get on the boat because we can see everybody. They get in there and then we finally get started and it becomes this, it was a beautiful day at the end. Yeah. But in the beginning, we just trying to figure it out. Right. Yeah, but it was good. It was a great day. Wow. We had someone on the boat that wasn't invited. Yeah. That was cute.
He crashed the wedding.
Stop it.
Somebody we went to college with.
Yeah, he crashed.
It was one of those situations I knew that our friend had said to him, oh, I'm going to Emil and Tanya's wedding. And the guy was probably like, oh, when is it? And he was probably like, oh, it's here. Where? Oh, you should come. You don't do that for weddings. So we come and we're greeting everybody. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. He comes around. He's like, hey, where I'm like, My face broke. I was like, what? Hey.
How did you get here?
Right. And the boat's sailing. Like, there's no kicking anybody off. So you're just like, and so he's like, hey, da-da-da. I was like, how did he get here? Who told him to come? So that was a funny one.
No, for me. Because when we went away to college the first year, I was in Richmond, Virginia, and she was in Fredericksburg, which was about, I guess, 30, 45 minutes away from each other. So basically, I came home every weekend, and I would get my mom's car, and then I would jet down to see her. And we would talk every night, you know. Or if I didn't come home and get my mother's car, then my buddies or someone who had a car at college in Richmond, I would take the car and go up and visit her. So I guess what I'm saying is that the first year when we were apart, it really wasn't, because we talked every day and we seen each other pretty much every weekend. Yeah. So there really wasn't a break in the relationship. And then after my first year of college, I transferred to school back up here to George Mason. And then I was back living at home. I had my own vehicle then. So again, I would go down and spend time with her, see each other often. And then
I left after that semester.
She left
came
after that,
back
and she came to George
to
Mason.
George Mason.
So then
I
we
came
were at
home.
School.
Yeah, so
Right.
we went to the same school.
Yeah.
And we graduated kind of together.
Kind of together. But see, when we came back, we both. Another reason that I love Tanya of many is that she's a hustler, just like I am. So she was working 2 jobs, I was working 3 jobs, and we was just getting it. You know what I mean? So
we knew we had to balance. We had to go to school. We got to go to work. We had each other. I mean, yes, there were times we were tired. I remember days when we would drive, and I'd tell him, I'd get home, I was like, I really don't remember in between your house and here. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I don't know what happened.
Because I think Tanya was, like I said, she was working for a bank, going to school full time. I was working on campus and working in D.C., going to school full time.
Then I worked for the firm.
Then you work for the firm. So we was doing a lot. But so there was never a point in our relationship where we felt like we weren't going to be together, because we were always still together, even after high school. You know what I mean? We were always moving in that trajectory, like, you know, we're going to get married and we just building for that day.
Well, we are traditional, non-traditional, I guess you'd say. We started out very traditional, I guess you would say. I would always cook, but I like cooking, so it's not an issue. But, you know, we would definitely just try and make it a partnership. Whoever cooks cleans. Whoever, you know, so it doesn't really matter who cooks. Although he would try to get out and be like, your food tastes better, like that type of thing. But, you know, whoever would cook, then the other person clean. He's much more of a tidy person. I'm the come in and wherever it lands, let's go. You know, and we'll figure it out later. And he's very much so like, why is this? Could you know, yeah, he's very much more keep it neat. But so that's where it is. I mean, and then cleaning up everything. I mean, I love that he doesn't have a problem with cleaning, because I prefer not to. I prefer not to. So that's pretty much where it is, don't you think?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, you know, like I said earlier, I as a male, I take my responsibilities very serious. So traditional roles, I don't shy away from those. But non-traditional, I don't shy away from that either, because to me, if it's a part, it's like if this is our household and things have to get done, we're gonna get it done. You know, and Tanya is like I said, she's a grinder. So running her own business and how much work that takes, my thing is I'm gonna take care of the house then. Go do what you gotta get done, and when you come home, the house is taken care of. You know, so I'll wash the dishes, I'll cook. If my daughter has something to do, she just called me the soccer dad the other day. I didn't even feel that too much, but I appreciate that. I'm like, I told her I'm never getting a minivan, so that's just not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? No. But I feel like this is my family, and I gotta take care of my family. My wife is out grinding doing that part, then I'll do this part. But I know that when I'm out grinding, you know, because I'm still in graduate school, I'm finishing. When she wasn't starting her business, she was doing it.
Right. It's been flipped, we just had. I mean, you guys think over 20-something years, we've had a lot of different changes in our lives. So we were in school together. We graduate. So we graduate, get married. we move out of state. We're by ourselves, broke again.
That's a good point.
And he goes to get his master's. So now I'm, you know, he's doing school again, and I'm just working. And working, but I'm just working. So it's like, okay, I'm going to take care of this. And then, you know, when I go to school, I start going to culinary school. Then he's working and has his jobs and everything. So we just had to kind of every time adjust. Whatever it is, we just adjust to what's going on in our life at that time. And then, so this last 4.5 years, he's back in school. So we're adjusting, but then we're also, it's my business, and then I open a bake. So the entrepreneur thing is really now a big thing for both of us. And we have to deal with us being entrepreneurs, us having a household, dealing with children, and then, you know, just life at the same time. So it's kind of in school. So we just have to be really fluid with what we do.
She always says that she's getting her, how you say it?
I'm getting my side E too. Let me tell you something. When they call his name, I'll be like, they'll be like, Logan, I'll be like, yeah, we have to sit down. It's not you. Right. It's me too. Trust me.
But that's I think one of the cornerstones of our relationship is that we're a partnership. So we're going to ride for each other, and we're going to do what needs to get done.
I mean, I think that the one big thing that when I talk to younger people and they say something about being together or being married or whatever, and I'm just like, well, you need to make sure you marry your best friend. And if that's the person that's the only person that you could really be around all the time for years and years and years. And I think that's why I would want to look back and be like, okay, that's why it feels like it does. Because, you know, he's my best friend. I have lots of girl best friends too, but he's my best friend too. So when he says that we do a lot together, there's probably only a couple things that we don't do. Like he'd be like, you go ahead and do that. That's you. And I'll be like, you go ahead and do that. Like, you know, when the video game thing, that's you. I don't do that.
He was so I can teach you how to play 2K.
Well, I don't do that. But there's only a couple of things. But we do everything. Like we watch sports together. We ride motorcycles together. I like cars. Like and that's the other thing, I guess, because I'm kind of like the tomboyish girl.
But I'm trying to get it in the shoes, right? So
I'm into shoes.
No, I'm talking about sneakers. Like,
I'm not into sneakers.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it in. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get it in.
I'd rather be barefoot than anything else.
No, you gotta have a fresh pair of sneakers on all the time. I'm trying to get it in.
He did our first, I think, 10 years of our marriage. If I said tennis shoes, he'd say sneakers. Sneakers. I'd be like, oh, tennis shoes, sneakers, whatever.
You know, for me, I think a lot of what Tanya said I would echo. But I would also say, you know, honey, we made it. You know, we've been, like I said, 28 years together as a couple, you know, and I can honestly say with every fiber of my body being honest that she gives me a lot of strength every day. You know, I know that I can go out here and tackle and try to do whatever I want to do, but I'm coming home to her at night, and I love that feeling. I love that to this day. You know, I love just coming home and being with her and laughing with her, joking. I can't wait to tell her what's happening, what's going on with me, you know. And so I want to be able to look back and say, yo, we did it. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you know, with a marriage, you putting two people together with different, you know, opinions and views and backgrounds, you know, so it's tough sometimes. Yeah. It's tough. It's a lot of work, but it's work that I would gladly do again with her, you know. So yeah, I would say, you know, honey, we did it. Yeah, we made it.